What's going on, people? Welcome to the Flex second installment. Yeah, I'm in the same clothes. I already done told you, stop hating, yeah? My basketball career, or lack of, man, why I never made it pro, why I nearly made it pro, what would have happened if I did go to America, that's what's all in this episode. Did I come close? Probably not as close as I thought I did, and why wasn't even because of the money situation, but I'll get into all of that in this video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it.
Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, I get it in, I get it in.
Basketball. I want to talk about basketball, man. Not so much the NBA and basketball now. I'm talking about my own personal experience. Why I would say I never made it pro. How close I was to making it pro. Not in the NBA. I was nowhere near good enough for that. But I think I always thought I could play in Europe. Maybe in Spain or Greece or something like that. My basketball journey was pretty simple, really. I mean, from the age of about 13, I'd say. About 13, I started playing in school. I was about in year 8, year 9, I think. And I started playing there. My basketball coach, Mr. Santiago, he was from Gibraltar, and he was sick. He was unbelievable. And I just joined the school team, started going to practice and started getting good. And I was like, wow, I'm actually all right at this. Shooting guard, that was me. I wasn't prolific in terms of dunking and big and powerful and mad leaps and stuff like that, mad jumps. But I had a good shot, good perimeter shooter, good at driving to the basket, layups and drawing fouls, etc. So I played all the way through school. We won like all the Luton schools things. We won the county stuff. We won. Our school was a really good school for basketball. Anyway, our team was really good. Shit for everything else. All type of South Luton crew. And I got to year 11, obviously went to college, done my A-levels and BTEC at the time, and joined my college team. And while I was at the college team, a team called MK Lions, who actually used to be, they're now called London Lions. I think they took over London Towers, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, they were called MK Lions, and they were running trials for their under 18 team, I think it was. Yeah, because I was 17 at the time. And my coaches at college, because we had a really good college team as well, from school to college. A lot of other ballers from around Luton obviously went to my college, and our team was really good. So there was like, look guys, there's some trials for the MK Lions team. It's National League basketball up and down the country. It's a professional team because they were playing in the BBL. The men's team was playing in the BBL, and it's the under 18s of that. So I thought, wow, I've got to go. So I went up to Stantonbury campus in Milton Keynes. Shout out Milton Keynes crew. Tried out for the team and got in straight away. So I was playing college basketball and National League basketball from the age of 17 up till about 20. And I was doing really well. I was going through the ranks. I was captain as well, under 17s, under 18s, and I loved it, man. At that time, I honestly thought I'd make it in professional basketball in Europe. I never really dreamed to make it in the NBA. I'm not one of them guys who's going to lie and say it was my absolute dream. Like I was always wanted to make it in the NBA. I always kind of knew my limitation. Maybe that is a limitation in dreaming that small. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I was doing really well, and I was convinced I was going to make it pro in this country. Anyway, I was on the right path, and my progression was good. And we're playing against like Birmingham Bullets, Newcastle Eagles, I think it was, Nottingham Panthers, is it? Can't remember, but National League up and down the country, doing really well. And I had a friend, my friend Jermaine, good friend of mine, my boy, man. He was on a football scholarship in Detroit, and he was like, you should come over here, man, for your basketball. Like, you know what I mean? I know you can play. Our team are always on the lookout. The basketball team is always on the lookout for new scholars from abroad and stuff. So I thought, you know what? Why not, man? Why not? So me and my cousin, who also he plays football, went for a football scholarship. I went for a basketball scholarship, and we went there, and I did really well. I remember trying out with the American team, and I had an absolute storm. I was raining threes, assists. You know what I'm saying? Solid on defense, and I left there thinking, wow, I think I could be in. I'm all the way out here in Detroit, Ohio. It's a place called Tiffin. And I thought, yeah, I could do this, man. And then they sit us down. The coaches were saying about how much scholarship they can offer us, and it's all about funding. Those of you in America will know that. And I went halfway through a semester, so at the time, the coach and the organisation they could only offer me, I think it was like a 30 or 40% scholarship. And it was nowhere near enough money. It was something like 8 or 9 grand just to complete the rest of that year. You know, my mum's a single parent, just me and my mum living at home. She just not long had my twin brothers and sisters. And I remember saying to my mum, it's like, not like they think I'm good enough, but there isn't enough scholarship money because I've come halfway through the year, so they can't offer me as much as they'd want to offer me. And I remember kind of saying it to her, not with the expectancy of actually asking her for the money, because look, man, I love my mum to pieces. She is grafter. She's not got no 9 grand to send me to America just for the rest of that semester, then reapply again. Nah, I just knew that was never going to happen. So that was kind of heartbreaking, but I understood it and I was at peace with that. And I came back and carried on playing National League basketball. And then after that, I just fell out of love with it. And you know, you guys know from watching in England, if you're a basketball fan, that there's not a lot of funding in basketball here. The BBL is not very well funded at all. If you want to make it outside of the NBA, you need to go across Europe, and you need to go to Greece, you need to go to Germany, you need to go to Spain. You've seen the teams like Real Madrid and Barcelona and stuff like that, and other teams across Europe. That's where it needed to be. And then the funding started getting cut in England, and I just started falling out of love with it. And when I look back, I think I used to use that as an excuse when people say, when like some of my old school friends say, you should have made it at basketball, man. Why didn't you ever go further? I always blame it on like the funding, or like I couldn't get enough scholarship when I went to America, so I just couldn't do it. When really, when I actually think about it, I probably just didn't want it enough. You know what I mean? There's probably footballers out there who watch this, or in general, who you know, they're tipped for big things but they don't quite make it. And I've got friends who are exceptional footballers, and they will say to me, I used to think I was sick of football. I used to think I'd made it, been on trial here, there, and everywhere. Thought I'd made it. I'm in an academy, but I didn't want it enough. There comes a point where, do you really want it enough? Was I spending every 3 hour outside of college on a basketball court? No, I wasn't. I went to practice. Was I staying till practice an hour, 2 hours after practice, an hour before practice? Was I living, breathing, drinking, sleeping basketball? Probably not. Nah, I could put my hand on my heart and say that. So I'm at peace with that, knowing that that's the reason I didn't make it. Do you know what I mean? Well, I say at peace. I'm saying it's okay. It's not okay, but that's like why I know I didn't make it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm wise enough to go, actually, you know what, Flex? Don't feel sorry for yourself. You just didn't fucking want it enough. Do you know what I mean? You didn't put your all into it to make it in the BBL when you came back, even though there was no funding. Because how do I know if I didn't keep pushing, could have gone to the BBL here, made it here, or nicked to move into Europe, which is where I wanted to end up. So I've got no one to blame but myself. Yeah, you get unfortunate circumstances, but I think the truly great players, or the truly great athletes or professionals in any sport, don't take no for an answer. If I really wanted that bad, I would have got back from America and been like, that's not crushing my dream. Let me go harder, let me go more intense. And I didn't do that. It is a bit of a regret, because I'd love to have seen where that would have went. And I'm still very fond of basketball. When I look back and think back, I think I was a good player. I'm not being cocky. I was a very good player. But was I elite level? Was my mentality elite level? Was my determination elite level? Nah, hence why I didn't make it. I think I had the ability and the talent, but I didn't have that determination, man. And I saw a couple of friends do really well, go to America. Some played pro in BBL as well, and seeing them made me realise, actually, and you know what it's always like, I was maybe on par, if not better, than some of those guys as well when we was coming up through college and stuff like that. But it's that determination that kicks people onto the level where you can have all the talent in the world at anything. If you don't apply yourself, then you ain't gonna get nowhere. And that's what happened. So yeah, basketball, big regret for me, but I understand why it didn't work out. So yeah, another person asked me who was my favourite NBA team, or who is my favourite NBA team. Do you know what? I haven't been watching basketball regularly for, I'd say, about 5 years. Regular, for about 5 years. But when in sort of like the mid-2000s when I was playing, so I left school in 2004, so I was probably playing from about 2001, 2002, probably to about 2008, 2009. And that for me was, I used to like individual players. So I never actually said that's my team. Yeah, I used to like the Lakers, of course. But the LA Lakers when they had Shaq and Kobe and stuff like that. But for me, I used to follow individual players. So I was a massive fan of Dirk Nowitzki at the Mavericks. Huge fan. Like, I thought, for such a big guy, his shooting was unbelievable. I was a huge fan of Tim Duncan at the Spurs. Just how he moved in the paint and how he just dissected opponents, how hard he went. I was a big fan of Tracy McGrady when he was at Magic. It's complete athleticism on the guy. I was a huge fan of Vince Carter, prime Vince Carter. Anyone knows prime Vince Carter at the Raptors, then boy, that was some player. So yeah, I used to love Latrell Sprewell. I used to love Latrell Sprewell at the Knicks as well. So I used to like certain players. Obviously LeBron was up and coming them times there. D Wade was obviously smashing it as well. So yeah, I used to follow individual players as opposed to just one team, instead of just going one team and this is my team. So now I'm starting to get back into basketball more and more. For a game that I used to love so much, I probably don't watch it as much as I should, and I think now I've had more time, I've been getting back into it. And since it's been back on Sky Sports in this country, you guys will know that's a big plus. That's a huge plus, because I think when I was younger, sort of mid 2000s, basketball wasn't as much on UK TV as it is now. You had to kind of get on the internet and watch it, and there used to be like a couple roundup shows here and there on TV, but nothing like there is now, like live games and stuff like that. And yeah, so for me, that's my basketball career. The reason why I never made it is because I was lazy. It's because I was lazy to spit in the nutshell. So if you want something, go and grab it, man. Don't let no one tell you can't, and don't rely on other factors to get it for you as well. That's what I'd say. If you want to make it in professional sports, because I tried, I failed. Like I said earlier, was I in the gym an hour, 2 hours after practice? Was I in the gym an hour before practice? Was I living, breathing, eating, sleeping basketball? Probably not, and that's the real reason why I didn't make it. I was a good player, but I wasn't an excellent player, and that just shows you the fine margins anyway. Hit a like on the video, smash a like on the video, make sure you do it. Let me know in the comments, actually, is it corny saying smash a like on the video? Like, this is what this is about. It's about just expressing yourself. Is it corny saying smash a like on the video? I don't think it is, isn't it? But whichever way, put a like on the video, drop videos, comments in the boxes below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, remember, Flex UTD on Instagram Live Flex Fridays. Get over to there. It's going to be happening every Friday. I'm out of it. Peace.